morning, everyone. My name is Susan Moriarty, and I'm the Executive Director of the Tennessee YMCA Center for Civic Engagement. It is my privilege to welcome you to the 40th Annual Model United Nations. We know this isn't the conference you expected. It's not the conference we expected either. But we're so grateful that you've chosen to be here, and we look forward to a fantastic weekend working with all of you all. Between our 2 high school conferences and our 3 middle school conferences, the CCE will serve more than 1,400 middle and high school students from across the state, and even some students from out of state and from across the world. I want to take a moment to thank all of those people whose dedication and hard work have made this conference possible. First, to our teachers who have been juggling assignments and communicating with students during unprecedented uncertainty. Thank you. To our volunteers who have still managed to take time out of their busy lives to assist us in moving this conference into the digital world. Thank you. And most of all, to our delegates who have not let the chaos of the last 8 months interfere with their passion for civic engagement and making the world a better place. We can't imagine what this world would have been like without your support, your enthusiasm, and your participation. Trust me, it makes a difference. So enjoy this weekend, show off all your hard work, and make some new friends.
Hi, my name is Elise Duggar, and I'm the Associate Director of the YMCA Center for Civic Engagement. The conference app is essential to your experience at Model UN. You must log in to access the Zoom links for the weekend. Last week, you should have received an email entitled MUN App 2020. If you didn't receive this email that has instructions for logging in, please let Susan, Tyler, or me know, and we'll resend it to you. You can also find instructions on our website at tennesseecce.org. The app can be accessed from your web browser or from your mobile device. Logging in allows you to join the Zoom meetings for the weekend, as well as access tons of helpful features like a personalized schedule, delegate communications, committee dockets, informational pages, conference updates, and election information. If you aren't logged in yet, pause this opening and make sure you're all set up. Before the conference begins, here are a couple of Zoom etiquette reminders. Make sure you're in business attire, just like at an in-person Model UN. If you intend to leave the room, please turn off your video. Keep yourself on mute whenever you aren't speaking. The chat should be related to conference material during sessions. And last but not least, make sure all that you do and all that you say is in keeping with the YMCA core values of honesty, caring, respect, and responsibility. We do have a limited amount of conference merchandise available for purchase. If you want to, you can order shirts, sweatshirts, books, or stickers through our online store. You can find the link to that in the conference app or just head to our website at tennesseecce.org. We'll make sure to ship them out to you as soon as the conference is over.
My name is Tyler Dorr, and I'm the Program Director for the YMCA Center for Civic Engagement. The last few months have been challenging, socially. I know that I miss seeing everyone gathered together in one place for the conference. But Model UN is not a place. It's an idea. That when we come together, communicate, and collaborate with one another, we can build something far greater than what any of us could achieve alone. In that spirit, we know that this conference format offers some unique challenges around communication. And that's why we're asking you to use your platform, not just to make sure that your voice and your opinions are heard, but to amplify the voices and opinions of your peers. Throughout the weekend, look for opportunities to lift up, encourage, and amplify, and minimize distractions and drowning out. Model UN works best when we can all hear each other. We're also offering lots of chances to interact with delegates in a more casual social setting. Although these evening sessions are optional, I encourage each and every one of you to put yourself out there and meet some new people. Tonight, we'll be hosting a game night and doing team trivia. So grab some friends or some new people from committee and come join the fun. Tomorrow night, we'll be hosting our classic tomfoolery committee. So submit your best resolutions and bring your A game. We're also going to be screening a monster movie from the 50s tomorrow, Teenagers from Outer Space. It is terrible, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so we hope to see you there. If you need anything this weekend, Susan, Elise, and I, your teachers, and our conference staff are here to help you. Most importantly, your 2020 officers are here to lead you. Please help me welcome the presiding officers of the 40th Annual Tennessee YMCA Model United Nations.
My name is Jack Barexa, and I'm your Secretary General.
My name is Karthik Chituri, and I'm your Secretary Liaison.
My name is Jackson Hoppy, and I'm your Security Council President.
My name is Sophia Chang, and I'm your Security Council Liaison.
My name is William Fichtel, and I'm your ICJ President.
My name is Srichi Dalai, and I am your ICJ Vice President.
My name is Hussein Abbas, and I am your ICJ Justice.
My name is Sriyata Bala, and I'm your ICJ Justice.
My name is Daniel Schmidt, and I'm your ICJ Justice.
My name is Carter Plantinga, and I'm one of your ICJ Justices.
Sai Kuditini, and I'm your ICJ Liaison.
My name is Saya Palmer, and I am your ICJ Liaison.
My name is Lauren Link, and I'm your General Assembly President.
My name is Rishi Patel, and I'm your General Assembly President.
My name is Nelson Rose, and I'm your General Assembly President.
My name is Lana Atkinson, and I'm your General Assembly Vice President.
My name is Luke Hubbard, and I'm your General Assembly Vice President.
My name is Megan Kabala, and I'm your General Assembly Vice President.
My name is Sriya Kanda, and I'm your General Assembly Vice President.
My name is Hadia Kruger, and I'm your General Assembly Vice President.
My name is Emerson Pope, and I'm your General Assembly Vice President.
My name is Max Olino, and I'm your General Assembly Liaison.
My name is Ella Bullock Papa, and I'm your General Assembly Liaison.
My name is Jackson Payton, and I'm your General Assembly Liaison.
My name is Owen Hewitt, and I'm your Press Managing Editor.
My name is Hayden Wells, and I'm your Social Media Director.
My name is Carolyn Bailosis, and I'm your Video Director.
My name is Sophia Bruce, and I'm your Blog and Copy Editor.
Hello again, and welcome to Model United Nations 2020. The United Nations is an international organization founded in 1945 after the Second World War by 51 countries committed to maintaining international peace and security, developing friendly relations among nations, and promoting social progress, better living standards, and human rights. The UN can take action on a wide range of issues and provide a forum for its current 193 member states. The UN works on a broad range of fundamental issues from sustainable development, environment and refugees protection, disaster relief, counterterrorism, disarmament, and non-proliferation to promoting democracy, human rights, and gender equality and the advancement of women, governance, economic and social development, and the international health, clearing landmines, expanding food production, and more. The Secretariat is a group of departments that serve as the executive arm of the United Nations, headed by the Secretary General. It has an important role in setting the agenda for the United Nations and the implementation of its decisions. The duties carried out by the Secretariat range from administering peacekeeping operations to mediating international disputes, from surveying economic and social trends and problems to preparing studies on human rights and sustainable development. The Secretariat will be leading summits again this year on topics to be posted today. If you'd like to be recognized to comment on the issues of the summits, we invite you to attend the public forum portion of the summits on Saturday. A select number of attendees will be invited to remain for the closed session on Saturday afternoon, where we will be drafting legislation on these topics.
Established in 1945 under the Charter of the United Nations, the General Assembly, made of 193 member states, occupies a central position as the chief deliberative, policy-making, and representative organ of the United Nations.
This weekend, we'll be debating and ranking over 100 resolutions in the first committee and the second committee, before passing or failing resolutions in the General Assembly.
For country teams in First Committee, you'll be in Committee A through H, and you can find your committee using the conference roster or through consulting the conference book.
The International Court of Justice, or ICJ, is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations. The court's role is to settle legal disputes submitted to it by member states in accordance with international law and to give advisory opinions on legal questions referred to it by authorized United Nations organs and specialized agencies. Our court will be hearing dozens of cases from lawyer teams throughout the weekend before inviting our top teams to argue a final case.
Under the Charter, the Security Council has primary responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security. Out of the 15 members of the Security Council, there are 10 rotating members with 2-year terms and 5 permanent members. These permanent members, the United States, Russia, the United Kingdom, China, and France, have veto power. If your resolution is flagged by Security Council, you will be notified and asked to come to our chamber where we will clarify your positions before reviewing and voting on your resolution. If you are awaiting review in the Security Council, your resolution will be bumped down the docket until that review is complete. Please, don't worry if your resolution is flagged, as you will most likely still be able to present after we finish our review.
The Department of Public Information was established in 1946 to promote global awareness and understanding of the work of the United Nations. DPI undertakes this goal through radio, television, print, the internet, video conferencing, and other media tools. Make sure you follow the DPI Twitter on Instagram at TNCCE Press and the YMCA Center for Civic Engagement on both those platforms as well at TNCCE to stay up to date on all things Model UN. Updates will also be posted on the DPI section of the app.
Stick around. In just a moment, we'll be talking about how to navigate the virtual conference. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 40th Annual YMCA Model United Nations. We are so thrilled that each of you get to be a part of this conference, and we look forward to a weekend full of debate, collaboration, and hopefully new connections with students around the state. I'm going to take a couple of minutes really quick before the conference starts to introduce you to 2 of the digital tools that you will need to make this weekend a success. I'll start with the Model United Nations app. Many of you have used the app if you've been to our conference before in its mobile form on your cell phone. That mobile form is still available, but I will focus here on the web version of the app. To begin, everybody should have gotten an email a couple of weeks ago with the subject line MUN App 2020. This email gives you detailed instructions on how to download the mobile app on your phone and how to access it on the web browser. All of the Zoom links are going to be hosted on the Model United Nations app, meaning it is essential that you find this email and log in. It went to the email that you registered for the conference with, but if you don't have one, send an email to myself or Elise, and we will make sure that you get an invite so you can log in. About midway down the email, you'll see a button that says Log in on device. You can click this to open the app. It'll take you to the web version of the app if you choose to open it in browser, which looks just like this. A couple of helpful features that you'll notice about the app are up top. You'll see your name and notifications. Notifications will light up anytime that a notification gets pushed to the conference generally or to a group that you specifically are in. You can also edit your profile from this top menu if you want to add a profile picture or anything like that. On the side, you will see a button that allows you to donate to Plan Padrino, learn more information about Model UN, and then a series of icons in the event guide sidebar that are going to help you navigate the weekend. Let's start with the schedule. Here, you'll see a schedule of all the sessions that are taking place throughout the weekend, and the times will be listed in the time zone that your computer is currently in. You can see here that I am in Central Standard Time, so all of my times listed are correct for the time zone that my computer is in. By default, you will be able to see every session of the conference, but the schedule is fully customizable, meaning you can search for specific things using the search bar, or even filter it out based on the tagged group that you are in. So if I was in the ICJ and I only wanted to see ICJ events, I could apply that tag and sort down to a smaller version of the schedule that just contains things for the ICJ. Clicking on any of the sessions listed in the schedule will take you to a detail page where you can add this session to your personal schedule, bookmark it, make a note, and most importantly, click this blue button in the center that will launch the Zoom meeting that session is taking place in. This is the only way to get into a conference Zoom meeting, so make sure that you can find all of the events that you are scheduled for in the schedule, and that you are comfortable joining meetings that way. Some other helpful things in the sidebar are a MUN help form. If you have technical difficulties throughout the conference, clicking this MUN help form and providing a little bit of information about your issue is going to be the quickest way to get it resolved by a member of our team. By clicking the Delegates button in the sidebar, you can see a list of all the attendees of the conference broken down by school, country, and component. It is again fully searchable, and clicking on an attendee will take you to their page where anything that they've customized about their profile will be visible. And you can also make a note or send them a message or add a contact to your list in the app that is accessible from the top of the event guide sidebar. The event guide sidebar is also where you'll find your Model UN conference book. It will be continually updated throughout the conference, so if any amendments are made or anything like that, you can constantly check here for the latest version of the book. I highly recommend downloading a copy of it at the beginning of the conference to keep and refer to. It is indexed and searchable as well, so you should be able to navigate it fairly easily. If you're in the General Assembly, clicking the General Assembly button will allow you to engage in real-time resolution tracking. So this page right here has all of the resolutions that are going to be heard by Committee A, and it will be updated when they have been heard, and then later in the weekend when they have been passed or failed. You're also going to be able to find all kinds of supplemental info about all of the other components, so if you need to see a list of Secretariat members, or if you have questions about the Security Council docket, the sidebar is a great place to find that info as well. By clicking MUN info, you can read about the new additions to Model UN this year, as well as give to either the Plan Federino Project or the MUN Scholarship Fund. MUN Officers and Elections is going to be your one-stop shop for everything related to this year's election. You'll be able to view the ballot, campaign videos, and op-eds. Social media will let you access all of the CCE's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook accounts. And the Tomfoolery Fundraising Committee button will give you all the information about the Tomfoolery social event that's being held on Saturday night, including instructions on how to submit your Tomfoolery resolution for consideration. Lastly, clicking Conference Merch takes you to the conference store, where a limited number of shirts, sweatshirts, and stickers are still available for this year. Finally, for those of you in the General Assembly, clicking the General Assembly and then First Committee button will show you a screen called the Committee Ranking Worksheet. Clicking on that lets you download an Excel file that you can use to keep track of your team's rankings for all of the resolutions that you hear in First Committee. At the end of First Committee, you're going to be asked to submit your totals for each resolution. And this worksheet is a great way to keep track of what you're thinking. So at the top, you can put the names of all the members of your country in here. You can put your country's name. And there's a drop-down menu letting you select which first committee you are in. So if I'm in C, I click that. It auto-populates all my resolutions right here. A spot for which conference you are, just for your own records. You're going to be able to edit these 5 criteria, and the sheet will automatically tabulate your total for you. So you'll go through and give each of these 5 criteria a ranking from 1 to 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. So let's say we hear a great resolution and our rankings look like this. The system will automatically tabulate the total, that way you don't have to mess with it at all. You just have to worry about ranking these 5 spots each time. And you're going to want to hang on to those totals until the end of first committee when you will be asked to submit them. Only one person from each country team needs to submit your team's totals. I assume most of you are very familiar with the Zoom interface by now, so I just want to quickly highlight a couple of features that might be unique to our conference. First, it's highly suggested that you log into Zoom before the conference begins. We have sorted everybody into their committees based on the Zoom email that you provided when you registered for the conference. So logging in with that account is going to make it easy for us to sort you into the right place when committee sessions begin. Because we are asking everybody to work together to amplify the voices of your peers and not to be distractions, we're asking most people to keep themselves on mute unless they have been recognized. The mute and video controls can both be located on the bottom left of the Zoom window. Simply click the unmute button to unmute yourself, click it again to mute yourself. If you are successfully muted, you will see a red line through the microphone, as you can see now, and it will also appear next to your name in the participants sidebar. Likewise, you can start and stop your video using this control. You do not have to keep your video on for the entire conference if you can't, and definitely make sure to turn it off if you leave the room or anything like that. Clicking the participants button at the bottom of your Zoom interface is going to give you a list of everybody that's currently in your meeting. It's also going to give you the option to, by clicking the More button over here, rename yourself to make sure you are named according to conference convention. That is first, last, a dash, and then the country that you are representing. Clicking the participants button on the bottom also gives you option to engage with a variety of nonverbal feedback controls. The most notable for our conference is the raise hand function. Once you click raise hand, you should see a little hand icon next to your name in the participant sidebar. You'll also see a little blue hand in the corner of your window on the Zoom session. This indicates to our officers that you would like to speak either because you want to be called on for a technical question, need to weigh in for a con pro speech, or have a motion that you'd like to make. As long as your hand is raised, our officers are going to assume that you are seeking to be recognized. So if you ever, if your point gets addressed or anything like that, you can just hit the lower hand button again to take that away and let them know that you no longer need recognition. Additionally, if your officers ask you to engage in any other kinds of nonverbal feedback, like yes, no, those can be found on the participants sidebar as well. Occasionally, you'll be prompted to enter a breakout room because we've sorted you into smaller committees. To do that, you will have a breakout room button on the bottom of your screen next to where the reaction button is on my screen, and the system will prompt you to enter a breakout room as soon as you enter the meeting as well.